Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie's court battle has reportedly intensified, with the former wanting to force information out of her. The former couple has been embroiled in a legal feud over their shared winery in France, Château Miraval, for months. A report previously mentioned that Jolie demanded that he pay her $33,000 for her legal fees. However, new documents revealed that Pitt has requested the court to press her for details in their fierce courtroom clash. It's official. The legal storm between Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie has taken another sharp turn. This week, Brad Pitt filed new court documents, urging the judge to finally step in as their bitter legal war over the French winery, Château Miraval, escalates to new heights. According to documents obtained by Us Weekly, Pitt accuses his ex-wife of persistent misdirection, suggesting that Jolie has been deliberately withholding information crucial to the case. At the center of it all lies not just a property, but a symbol of their once perfect love story. Years ago, Miraval was where they married. Now it's the battlefield where every unspoken resentment seems to surface. Pitt's legal motion didn't just stop at accusations. He also asked the court to reject Jolie's $33,000 demand, a request she made to cover her legal fees. But the heart of his filing is something far more personal, a plea for the court to force Jolie to hand over private emails that he claims she's been keeping out of reach. Those emails, according to Pitt's team, include communications between Jolie and her closest circle, her business manager Terry Bird, her British publicists Chloe Dalton and Arminka Hellick, and two unnamed financial consultants. To Pitt, these aren't just random messages. They might hold the key to understanding what truly happened behind closed doors, during and after their split. He insists that Jolie has categorically withheld these communications, producing only a single internal email that mentions the terms of the sale now under dispute. Pitt believes there are many more, and that the truth is buried within them. The F1 star's demand to use force may sound dramatic, but it reflects just how desperate this courtroom saga has become. This isn't just about money or property anymore. It's about trust, betrayal, and control. Their legal feud traces back to Pitt's 2022 lawsuit, when he accused Jolie of illegally selling her shares of Château Miraval to an outsider, a move he claims was done in secret, without his consent. For Jolie, the sale represented freedom, an escape from the shadows of their shared past. For Pitt, it felt like the ultimate act of betrayal. Château Miraval was never just a vineyard. It was their sanctuary, a place of love and family, where their children played, and where they exchanged vows in 2014. They had bought the estate together years earlier, nestled among the lavender fields of southern France. To the world, Miraval symbolized perfection, Hollywood royalty living out a European fairy tale. But behind those sunlit stone walls, cracks were forming. When Angelina filed for divorce in 2016, the decision shook Hollywood. What was once a partnership built on artistic collaboration and shared values quickly transformed into a public and painful separation. And as their personal lives splintered, so too did the empire they had built together. The question of Miraval, who owned it, who controlled it, who had the right to profit from it, became a proxy for their deeper emotional rift. In the early stages, it seemed like Pitt wanted to preserve what they had built, at least on a professional level. The winery had grown into a successful business under his oversight, producing a critically acclaimed rosé that became a global bestseller. For Jolie, however, Miraval had become a symbol of everything she wanted to move past. She later admitted she hadn't returned to the property since their separation, describing it as a place tied to painful memories. Over time, the distance between them became measured not in miles, but in filings, hearings, and legal fees. Jolie's decision to sell her shares in 2021 to Tenute del Mondo, a subsidiary of the Stoli Group, was seen by many as her way of severing ties. But to Pitt, it was a violation of an agreement that no party would sell their stake without the other's approval. He claims that her sale blindsided him, forcing him into a position where the winery he had poured his passion into was suddenly shared with an entity he had no relationship with. The lawsuit that followed has been relentless. Pitt's team argues that Jolie acted out of spite, while her camp insists that she had every legal right to sell. Documents show that Jolie tried to sell her shares directly to Pitt years earlier, but negotiations broke down after he allegedly demanded that she sign a non-disclosure agreement that would have silenced her about his personal behavior. She refused, and the deal collapsed. Shortly after, she sold her stake to Stoli. That decision reignited tensions that had been simmering for years. Pitt's lawsuit, filed in 2022, accuses Jolie of unlawful conduct and seeking to inflict harm. Jolie's legal team countered that Pitt was attempting to control her financially and professionally, long after their marriage ended. Each side paints a picture of the other as manipulative and vindictive, and as the filings pile up, so does the public curiosity about what truly happened inside Miraval's gates. As of this year, the conflict shows no sign of slowing. Pitt's latest request to force Jolie to hand over emails is just the newest chapter in a story that keeps evolving. His legal documents detail frustration over what he calls a deliberate attempt to obstruct transparency. Jolie's team, in contrast, portrays his demands as harassment, part of an ongoing effort to drain her energy and finances through endless litigation. What makes this case so fascinating isn't just the legal complexity, it's the emotional weight behind every move. For Pitt, Miraval represents legacy, a project that once embodied creativity and love, now entangled in legal paperwork. For Jolie, Miraval represents pain, a chapter she wants to close but is forced to relive every time a new filing surfaces. When Jolie once described leaving Miraval, she said she hoped the gesture, giving Pitt full control, would calm the situation, but instead it appears to have intensified it. In later court statements, she mentioned that even years after the separation, she and the children had never set foot on the property again. The vineyard that once echoed with laughter and wedding music now stands as a monument to everything they lost. Observers see this as more than a fight about wine or money. It's about identity and power. It's about two people who once shared everything now fighting to reclaim their narratives. The emails Pitt demands could reveal business discussions, or they could reveal something more, perhaps motives, frustrations, or private decisions that might shift public perception. That's what makes them so crucial, and why both sides are guarding them so fiercely. In this battle, every phrase, every word in a document is loaded with meaning. When Pitt says persistent misdirection, it isn't just a legal accusation, it's an emotional one. It implies deceit, manipulation, the sense that someone he once trusted is now maneuvering against him. When Jolie rejects his legal motions, she's not just defending her autonomy, she's also pushing back against the shadow of a marriage that she says was marked by fear and control. Nearly a decade has passed since their separation, yet the wounds seem unhealed. What began as a partnership that inspired admiration worldwide has transformed into a cautionary tale about what happens when love, business, and pride collide. Their children, once photographed smiling on the Miraval grounds, are now young adults navigating the fallout of a public and prolonged battle between their parents. In the broader picture, Miraval has become a symbol of everything Hollywood doesn't want to confront: the way glamour can crumble into paperwork, how romance can turn into litigation, and how power dynamics can shift when a relationship ends. Every new headline about this case isn't just about Pitt or Jolie. It's about what their story represents for anyone who's watched love turn into rivalry. Still, there's an undeniable sense of tragedy beneath it all. For two people who once stood together at the height of fame, who adopted children from around the world, who pledged to make their love story different, it's painful to see how that dream dissolved into lawsuits and subpoenas. Pitt and Jolie once said that Miraval would be a place of peace, a refuge from Hollywood chaos. Instead, it has become the stage where that chaos plays out for the world to see. Whether the court will compel Jolie to release the emails remains to be seen. What's certain is that neither side seems willing to back down. For Pitt, this may be about vindication, about proving that he's been wronged, that he deserves transparency. For Jolie, it's about freedom, about protecting her boundaries, her privacy, and the autonomy she fought to reclaim after a marriage that left deep scars. The longer the case drags on, the more it becomes a reflection of something larger than the two of them. It's a story of how love, once sacred, can mutate under the weight of ego, fame, and grief. It's a reminder that even the most beautiful stories can have endings that no one wants to write. And perhaps that's why audiences remain captivated, because somewhere between the court filings and the press statements, people still remember the couple who once seemed untouchable.